Hello. Well, today we're going to speak about much more about when you have an idea, please keep with this not the idea, when you have like a creativity, something that you want to do, uh, an expertise, a business that you want to launch, or a way to search for a business. I would advise you. I would advise you to to stand straight on that. And I'm going to give you a little bit of examples through movies, so that you can understand that it's very, very important that you believe in you and that you don't listen to people when they come to you to try to stop you, or just because they think in a different way. And this, whether it is a business, or whether it is like a career that you want to do, a kind of job, an idea that you have, a profession that you want to do, you have to be really straight on what you think, because most of the time you don't lie to yourself, you know. So I'm going to speak to you about movies that you can watch and that are going to help you understand what I'm trying to explain, but also they are going to help you, motivate you. So I'm going to read a little bit. I'm quite a little bit tired, but I've been doing videos and videos for you to come and watch whenever you want. But I thought it was really important that today, I don't know why, for whom, you could see those films. So here we are. We have this movie here of Will Smith, à la recherche du bonheur. Oh, I'm losing my English. So you know the film of Will Smith with his child. He wanted to make a turn in his career. It was like a freelance. He was an independent person. He was selling like devices, and he invested in that, but it didn't work quite well. And then he met someone that was making a profession, and he thought, well, I want to have a car like that. I want to have a life like that. And so an opportunity was given to him in order to have a position, but he had to stop working for 6 months and be prepared to enter the company. And that causes problem with his wife, because she was fed up to help in the household and to be doing the most of the work, because he couldn't sell his machineries. And so she didn't believe in him, and she didn't believe in the right decision that he was taking. It was really hard for him. They separated, but voilà, he could get on. So you see, if he hadn't listened to his wife, he wouldn't be where he is when you see the film. And it's a true story, actually. So you have the story of McDonald's. You have the founder. I don't remember the name of the founder, but he's like the owner of McDonald's. And what happened is that he was a seller, and really, The Founder is a film that you should watch. He was a seller. He was selling like a milkshake mix machine. And what happened is that he couldn't sell. Like at one moment, you realize in the movie that he has been selling stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff, and it didn't really work, and it doesn't have really a good brand reputation as a seller. But one day he discovers McDonald's, this technicity, this system of making hamburgers, winning time, earning time, a good quality service, something innovative. And he's like, he saw directly that it was something big, and he wanted to participate in that. And what happened is that I think he felt in those people also the need to do something great, but they had a problem of management, they had a problem of vision, they had a problem of how we're going to do to make it big. So the people who created McDonald's, they were stopping him, they were blocking him, and he couldn't accept it. And in a certain way, yeah, things didn't turn out really good because he took their business. But it was more clever, it was in the vision, and he made of McDonald's what it is today, a multinational. When the others, it seems like they wanted to do it, but they had so many restrictions. So he didn't listen to them. He tried to find a way to realize McDonald's the way they wanted to have it in their minds, especially one of the brother, but he didn't listen to the restriction that he knew would stop it from becoming what they wanted it to be. So this is not the case. You have also Mark Zuckerberg in the social network that starts speaking with people that had an idea, and you know that people are going to say, oh, he stole the idea or he didn't steal. What happened is that when you have a constructive mindset, when you have a growth mindset, you speak with people, you have already ideas. You know, you have already ideas, and another person is going to have a similar idea, or an idea that is going to make click to your mind, you know. And what happened, I think, with Mark Zuckerberg was that, I mean, and he stepped forward and forward and forward, and those people had an idea, but they was like fixed, they were like, and he couldn't stop himself from going forward and forward and forward. And you would see in the film Social Network that what was blocking him is that he was seeing great, and some people that were with him were blocking him, were not in the same mindset, were not thinking, they were too afraid, they were too traditional, they were too, and he wanted to do that thing and to go into his passion. So listen to yourself is really good. Another case is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was working for adhere, and he had a friend that was doing something great, and he had always something in advance. He would look at things and say, well, yes, this is there was something in him, and he listened to what was in him. He didn't listen about adhere telling him, well, yes, but you know you're the best, but you are like this, like this, like this. He listened to him, but at one moment, even by creating his own enterprise, everybody, for administrative reason, for financial reason, were thinking that he was going too far in his attitude, in the way he was dealing with the business, in what he wanted to do with the product, in how he wanted to serve the consumers. So they decided to put him out of that company. And for, I don't know, so many years, like almost 10 years, he was out of the company. And when the company started dying, they call him. They say, you are the only one that succeeded making that company. Yes, it was my company. So it can happen till, you know, you can have like people that don't think the way you think, till they even get your baby, they get your passion, they get your expertise, and then they put you aside and they want to make it work the way they want to make it work, completely differently from you. If Steve Jobs had stopped thinking about him and working on in his expertise and thinking his way of doing is the best, then you wouldn't see Apple the way it is. It would periclite like adhere periclite. And when he was working at adhere, he was trying to make them understand that, you know, those games, it was one big company long time ago, but voila. So there is another film that is very good, is Jerry Maguire with Tom Cruise. That is really a film where in the company you have this person who is an agent, for actors and sports people, and it's like a factory where you have a lot of agents. So he writes a book or an essay on the service delivery for as an agent for a sportsman or a sportswoman or a public actor or something like that, and he gets fired and someone follows him, so he gets fired, and so he has no more customer, and he's like, oh, I'm going to succeed, who wants to come with me? If you get fired and you lose your job, be careful on the way you go. But anyway, he did it and he worked, but at one moment he was disbelieving in what he had written. It's really strange. He was disbelieving in what he had written, and it's one agent that accepted to work, that accepted him to work for him, for Jerry Maguire to work for him, that was pushing him, reminding him that I want this service, I want that. And in a certain way, you have to realize that the universe, everything around you, puts you in the situation where you said, where you wrote, you know. So if you say something, if you do something, if you believe something, know that it's a kind of law of attraction, and everything is going to be on this path. And at one moment, if you stop believing in you, if you stop thinking on the way you had pronounced that, the things are going to push you into what you seeded at the first time, in your root, because that was the proper way, that was the perfect way. But because you're losing your comfort zone, because you feel that you're getting out of your comfort zone, it might happen that you stop believing you. Not because people told you, look, you have to do this, you have to do that. Just because you have difficulties, you stop listening to yourself. You have Working Girl. Working Girl is really a movie that I really loved. It's a long time ago. It's with Melanie Griffith and I don't remember the other actress, and I think Harrison Ford also. And what happened is that she was a secretaries, administrative assistant. She belongs to a kind of community that shouldn't be a manager, and she's following courses by evening courses. But the way she dresses, what she reads, the place where she lives is not the manager type of New York, you see. So but you have like people in her environment that don't believe in what she wants to do, like this jumping off, you are a lower class into bracket employee, and you want to be a high-ranking staff, you want to be a manager. Who do you think you are? You want to prove what, you know? But you have also her boss that seems to be like stealing ideas from the employees. So she would say to her, oh no, I didn't read yet, but in fact she read, and she started like taking the ideas of this secretaries, administrative assistant, in order to get promotion perhaps with that. And then she finally discovers it, and you should watch the film, and she gets to be manager. So because she believed in her and she didn't live in the environment, the things just happened. She fought till the end, and she wanted to really a discomfort zone. What do you have here? Coach Carter. Coach Carter is the case of a basketball coach, I think, if I remember well, and it's for a school with difficulties. They didn't win in a sports trophy for a long time, so they're asking this coach to come and help. But he has really strict rules, you know, for the young people that have to do this sport. And so it's okay, you do the sport and you win the game, but you have to study and have these marks, and if you don't have them, then we stop doing the sport, and then you are no more in the competition. And at one moment they win. So when he sees that those people don't have their marks, he like stopped the thing, you know. He said, I said that the contract was that, you didn't respect the contract. So the parents, the school are pushing him to break his own contract, you see. So it can happen that when things go very, very well, people don't want to see on what you feel should be done even though things go very, very well. So you have really to listen to yourself. Not that people always lie, not that people don't understand, but perhaps there are social reasons, there are humanitarian reasons, and you want to do the business in a certain way, you want to do the work in a certain way. Listen to yourself, because usually you are in the good path. Don't start listening to others and then you might regret. So I said Coach Carter. And did I speak about? Yes, I spoke about the social network. Alibaba is someone that if he had to listen to the people who didn't believe in him, where he didn't have a job, where he failed, well, he wouldn't be a millionaire. And he's always giving his testimony on the fact that it's not a film, but you can see a lot of documentaries on Facebook about that. And KFC, the witness, like I think he became a millionaire. He was like 57 or 55 or 58, above 50, and also he was what people could say he was a failure. The army didn't go, this didn't work, and he was left with a little bit of money. And if he didn't listen to himself, that at least I'm a failure for everything, but I'm good at cooking chicken, so I can with this money make a little bit of chicken and get a little bit of money by selling it. If he didn't do that, if he hadn't do that, if he hadn't been cooking this chicken quickly, go to a door to door and say, do you want my chicken? Do you want my chicken? And then a person tastes it and say, wow, can you make me another one? And speaks with a friend. And he became a millionaire like that, because he didn't listen to all the failures he was. He listened to the best of him, the best that he could do, and he made a plan with this best, and voila, he became millionaire. Yes, you have Will Smith, that was a doctor. I don't remember the name. I think it's on Netflix, this film. And he's a Nigerian doctor in the United States. And he realized that sports people are being killed by a certain way of doing sport that provoke an illness. And at one moment, he really has pressure from everywhere telling him not to practice his expertise the way he should practice. The sports world is putting pressure on him. FBI, CIA, and he stands with his expertise and finally proves that in fact there is an illness that exists and blah blah, and finally even the CIA or the FBI wants to give him a job and stuff like that. So it's really important to stick on your expertise, stick on your passion, stick on what you think about what is really, really important for you. You have to stick on that, because you are the best expert of your expertise, you know. But don't lie to yourself. Some people, they brag and they say, ha ha ha, me, I can do that. I can do better than the other one. No. Don't do that. Be sure of your expertise. Put yourself on the limit of yourself, and then you can know that, yes, I'm an expert, because you put yourself on the limit of yourself. But if you think, oh, I'm an expert and I have the good solution and I can do it, but you don't put yourself in the pressure of this expertise, you don't put yourself, you're not sick. When you're sick, you stop. When you're tired, you stop. You cannot know whether you are an expert or not, you know. So expertise is really like, I think I finished. Yes. I finished. There are 2 or 3 other films, but I wouldn't speak of them very properly. I should go and watch them again. But at least those are films that you can watch, and they are going to motivate you in order to stop listening to everything that is negative for your project, whether you want to do a business or whether you want to find a job. And you have a lot of films that can be mentoring you. You should watch those films, those movies, so it's going to help you develop the strategies, the reflex, develop the mindset, a growth mindset that is going to help you do what you want to do in business, or find a job, build the career that you want to do professionally. Thank you for following me. Don't forget to subscribe or to put a like. I don't know if I hope we are going to meet each other, and that you let me some questions so I can answer. But I imagine also that I'm always finding something quite interesting for you to come and follow me. Be blessed.